Wow. I saw an advert who says I'm tired of expensive data. Now, in other words, I would say I'm tired of expensive joke, and I don't know if it's a joke or not. And I believe this kind of a thing that I want to read out couldn't be a joke, wouldn't have been a joke. Now, straight to the headline, which says Burkina Faso and Mali deploy warplanes to Niger Republic following ECOWAS warning. Again, Burkina Faso and Mali deploy warplanes to Niger Republic following ECOWAS warning. I'm looking left and right. Now, Burkina Faso and Mali deploy warplanes to Niger to do what? That is a bone of contention. Yeah, before we make our judgment and our claim, let's quickly straight move through the news and know what the narrative is all about. Yeah, in response to the potential armed intervention by the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, to reinstate democracy in Niger Republic, Burkina Faso and Mali have reportedly dispatched warplanes to the Niger Republic. Because before we say warplane, airship, that the way it sounds itself is very, very appalling, or is fearful. I'm fearing warplanes. Still, I still, we're going somewhere. I still want to know what it is. Now, according to Niger's state television, Mali and Burkina Faso have taken tangible steps to support Niger by deploying warplanes within Niger's border. Okay, support. Okay, now this move is aimed at deterring any possible attack on Niger. The warplanes in question are identified as a Super Tucano fighter jets, same as the one that was sold to Nigeria to salvage the situation, in the insurgency, to help, fight the fight against, criminality, terrorism, and so on and so forth. The current situation stems from the coup that led to the detention of President Mohamed Bazoume and the dissolution of Niger's elected government on June 26. Now, dissolution of Niger's elected government. There are so many things that are involving around the Niger crisis and coup and every other thing. We might call it coup, or they might call it coup. The rumor might be that it was a coup. It is. I believe we'll get to the promised land, and we'll get to the notion of this, how it started. Now, one of those is the dismantlement of their government, or dissolution of Niger's elected government, which happened on June 26. Now, ECOWAS, led by Nigerian President Bola Tinubu, announced sanctions against the military personnel in Niger on July 30th, and also issued a week-long ultimatum for the military junta to restore President Bazoume to power again. Now, after the expiration of the ultimatum, West African leaders convened on August 10th and also authorized again the establishment of a standby force to reinstate President Bazoume through military action if necessary. ECOWAS, which is the Economic Community of West African State Defense chiefs, were instructed to activate this force to restore civil governance in Niger on the designated D-Day. In response, the military regimes of Mali and Burkina Faso challenged ECOWAS' intentions, indicating that any armed intervention in Niger would be met with resistance. To address the escalating situation, military leaders from Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger gathered in Niger's capital, which is Niamey, on Friday to discuss and establish concrete measures in the event of economic of community of West African states ECOWAS and in their decision to escalate the situation into armed conflict. Again, in response, the military regimes of Mali and Burkina Faso challenged ECOWAS intentions, now indicating that any armed intervention in Niger would be met with resistance. To address the escalating situation, military leaders from Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger gathered in Niger's capital, Niamey, on Friday to discuss and establish concrete measures in the event of ECOWAS' decision to escalate the situation into armed conflict. This is so very, very interesting. Now, what Burkina Faso and Mali deploying warplanes for to Niger Republic following ECOWAS warning? Well, if in response to the potential armed intervention by Economic Community of West African States ECOWAS, also to reinstate democracy in Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali, and have reportedly dispatched warplanes to the Niger Republic to seek for help. Or I don't know if Niger cried to Burkina Faso or Mali to seek for help, or they saw that because it's the military junta that happened, or there was a coup and they have body of military. I don't know. Maybe they just want to rescue the situation just because they are closer to the border or they are closer to Niger, or as a military parastatal of a country, they too want to have a military to expand, or they want to have democracy to expand in other side of the ECOWAS. But what ECOWAS just want is peace, and they want to gain the West African state to themselves, because the full meaning of ECOWAS, which simply means Economic Community of West African States, they have a body and they have the kind of policy and system they want to follow, and that will pay them, that people don't understand. They want to install democracy, maybe through United States, because Nigeria adopted democracy from the United States, which says the government of the people, for the people, and by the people. Now, if democracy is being spread and people gain democracy because they want them to have bilateral relationship as somewhat, but they will say Orilomo. Only God know that one. But notwithstanding, if possible, I believe there is not going to be war. There is not going to be dispute. There won't be disaster. Mali, Nigeria, Burkina Faso, Niger, South Africa, everybody under Africa, God will visit them. There won't be war, because if there is supposed to be war, the war between Russia and Ukraine alone should have taught people lesson and leaders lesson. They should know that God is God. Well, this is what I'm going to do at the cutting. I would like you to share your views in the comment section. Thanks for listening and God bless you. Amen.